Sup spooks, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Merry Christmas, Carrie Fisher died today. But anyway, there's been some radio silence from me, so I figured I'd vlog a little cooking like I did. I made that ramen video. For Christmas, my mom got me Graveyard Girl's Swamp Queen palette, and I told her I wanted to play around with it, see what looks I could create. So she said, oh, do my makeup. And I was just gonna do some eye makeup, and she said, oh, get my foundation too. And I was like, okay, so I guess I'm doing a full face. And then I finished her whole face. She looks great. Kind of did my makeup. Let's not talk about that. And I said, oh, you should send a selfie to Dad. Tell him to take you out. And I was just joking. But now they've gone out for dinner. I'm stuck babysitting my 3 siblings, and we have like no real food in the house. So I'm gonna try and cook. There's not really food to cook. There's like a bag of tortillas sitting on the counter. There's a pork loin out on the counter. I'm just realizing, next to an empty pizza box, there's a pork loin that's set out like it was meant to be defrosting. So I guess at one point in the day, my mom had a plan for dinner. We have like nothing but frozen fruit and scallops. Nobody in my house even eats scallops. There's no explanation for that. Guess we're having fucking mozzarella sticks. That's not shut. Do you ever get those phone calls and it looks like a legitimate number and you pick up and it's like, hi, this is Veronica from Cardholder Services. We get 50 million of those a day. I want to throw the phone at the freaking wall. So how's your holiday break going? Here, you know what? In honor of Carrie Fisher, I'm taking my dad's Christmas present from my grandparents, which is a Star Wars apron. I'm gonna wear that while I cook. I spilled it on myself. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend this is a cooking show to make things more interesting. So what I have on the counter in front of me is a bag of frozen mozzarella sticks. There's like 3 pounds of shredded cheese in a bag. And a metric fuck ton of leftover box mac and cheese. So I'm gonna make mozzarella sticks and try and reconstitute the mac and cheese with the 3 pounds of mild shredded cheddar. Yeah. Fun fact, you don't want to ever do dishes after baking ever again. Use parchment paper. From one Pinterest mom to another. I'm not a mom, but Pinterest moms love my Pinterest board of circus themed crafts for boys ages 5 to 12. I was a camp counselor. This is a weird stream of consciousness video, but I mean, I'm planning actual videos. I have a whole list of things I need to vlog about. I haven't gotten around to it because I was at school. It was finals week, and although I didn't have any like final tests, I was writing a short story for my final project for my first year seminar, and I had this whole thing planned, and it was going to be really cool. I mean, it is pretty cool, just not the way I planned it, because the topic of my seminar was coming of age in a complex society, and what we did was we read a bunch of coming of age novels. They had a movie adaptation, we'd watch that, and we'd discuss it, maybe write a reflective essay. It was nice, it was easy, and it counted towards my honors requirement. And so for the final project, we could do anything we wanted as long as we like wrote an artist statement. And well, most of the people in the honors program are like hardcore like engineering, math, science, like all that STEM stuff. And then there's me, the one like I'm a theater major, theater and dance, double major. So most of the time I feel like they don't even belong in the honors program, because all of these people, most of them are nursing and like by genetic engineering. It's all like super interesting medical stuff. And then there's me. So first of all, I don't feel like I even belong there. So for their final projects, they did like research studies and like analytical essays, and I was like, so I'm not gonna do that because that is not my wheelhouse. And I came up with the idea of, oh, I'll write my own short story. I'll write a coming of age story. And my mind always defaults to ghosts. So my initial concept was, it's a girl who is a psychic. She's a senior in high school. She moves into an old haunted house in Connecticut, and there's a ghost there of a 14-year-old girl who died in 1667, and they become friends. And that girl has been inhabiting, is that the right word? The ghost girl has been inhabiting the house since she died. So she's been seeing all the families living there and all of those children coming of age. So then girl from 2016 and the girl from 1667 can have like conversation and open up discourse about how coming of age has changed over these centuries. And then, so that's the bare bones of it, and that's what I simplified everything down to, because my initial plan, I left it too long and I did not have time to write the whole thing, so I shaved it down majorly. My initial idea, which I do plan to expand on this still, like I have so many ideas for like novels, because I do also want to write something. Yeah, everyone's a writer. Dog. My butter is melting, which means I need to get flour because I'm making a white sauce. But this big plot point, big reveal thing idea I had was, Ghost Girl loves to talk about every generation of girls coming of age except for her own. And then the big reveal of why she doesn't like to talk about like her life and her family is that her death was, oh, flour everywhere. Her death was being hung for witchcraft. And so there was going to be this whole big revelation of like Puritan society's treatment of women and how that translated into like that mass hysteria of the Salem witch trials, except it was going to be in Connecticut. And there are witch trials in Connecticut before Salem anyway. A whole book about it by Cynthia Wolfe Boynton. Maybe I'll link her book in the description. She signed my copy because I know her. I planned it out so I had like one theme to discuss from every novel we read, and then for every theme that they discussed, the Ghost Girl would come up with an example from like a different decade or century that she'd witnessed. But then I left it to 2 days before I had to present it. Actually, I left it to the night before I was originally supposed to present it, and then I started to like have a panic attack over the fact that I wasn't gonna be able to finish it, and then I came down with a fever, and I was like, well, you have a legitimate reason to not go to class, might as well like email your professor. And I was like, listen, I came down with a fever last night. If you have a question about it, you can ask my advisor, because she witnessed me with said fever at our cast meeting for Once on This Island. I'm in the school musical, but I was at the cast meeting and I was like so out of it, and my advisor is the assistant director. Oh my god, it's burning. I need to multitask. My advisor is the assistant director because she's also the choreographer, and she was like, Emma, you okay? And I was like, whoa, no. So then I skipped class that next day, and that was the first day of presentations. There were 2 days of presentations, so I was like, oh yeah. I emailed my professor. She was like, yeah, no, that's fine. You're like the third person I know that's been coming down with this. There's like a massive stomach bug going around the school. She was like, that's fine, just come in, you can present next presentation day. And I was like, oh, awesome, I have a whole week to work on this and finish it and make it what I want to. Fast forward to the night before I'm getting a second chance to present it, still not done. I stayed up till 1 at night in the lounge in my dorm working on it, and I was not even halfway done at that point, but I had a revelation. I just dropped my phone. That revelation was if you simplify it, you could finish this as fast as you want. Because I was stressing. I was like, oh my god. It's going to be so long. How am I going to finish it? And I was like, you created this assignment yourself. You set the parameters. You're stressing yourself out because you want it to be this big thing. Just change what you want it to be. Slap a conclusion on it, and you're done. So the thing I had planned would have probably been around like... I'm just gonna go in pages, and this was in like Times New Roman, size 12, double-spaced, because academia. It would have been like 20, 25 pages, and I was like, well shit, that's not gonna work. So then I ended up with 8 pages. Printed that out, bought a like project protector for it from Rite Aid. Called it a day. My professor wasn't at the honors section meeting where we presented everything. I need to use milk instead of cream because we don't have enough. So she wasn't there. I felt absolutely no pressure because the other honors professors don't know me. They don't know what goes on in our class. And I was able to tie my project into our school's history, which, you know, when you're a nerd, the professors love you, because there was, I go to a women's college, and there was something about, in my story, about like how for most of history, women going to college just wasn't done. Like, they'd go to finishing schools. Maybe that was really popular in the end of the 19th century, early 20th century. But for most of history, women going to college just wasn't done. And my college actually started off as a finishing school. So one of the professors was like, oh, so that's interesting. Did your professor discuss the school's history with you? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, okay. So and then she like went all into its history as a finishing school. And I was like, okay, well, I work in the alumni museum. So yeah. And then I got into, I connected it all to me being a nerd, basically. So yeah, my presentation went well. And I don't know what grade I got on it. Sure, I could check on the school website. Ooh, actually, I haven't paid my tuition for the spring semester yet, so my account is on financial hold, so I need to sort that out, because I need to switch one of my classes, and if I can't access my account, well, that's an issue. But based on how lenient my professor is for all the other things she's graded, I'll be fine. Because I mentioned offhand to her one day that I wanted to be a published author one day. And she was like, oh, I'm sure you will be. I'm like, that's what my 8th grade English teacher said. But okay. So, yeah, I've never gotten anything less than an A in her class, and she's an English professor, so I guess she likes me. I don't even have to take, I signed up for her, that's the class I have to change. I signed up for her honors college writing class, and then I sat down and thought about it, and I was like, Carol, do I need to take that class? I already have the writing requirement. She was like, from what? And I was like, well, I took AP Lang and AP Lit. She's like, well, what'd you guys say? 4 and a 5. Was a 5 on AP Lang? I'm like, yes. And she's like, yeah, then you don't take that class. Don't take that class. You don't need it. So now I'm going to switch into 150 years of advocacy, because it's my school's 150th anniversary in 2017, so I get to plan those exhibits because I work in the museum. That's exciting. But it's about 150 years of women in theater, and it's an honors course. I'm like, well, that works with my major and the honors college. Done and done. Except I'm not actually in the class yet because I can't get into my account. I have to finish FAFSA still. That's bad. I've had so much time to work on that. I'm gonna finish my cheese sauce now. Stay spooky. And this, my friends, is what you call a bechamel, which means white sauce. And I'm going to put this nasty box mac and cheese in this, and hopefully it'll taste not disgusting. Alright, so update on the mac and cheese. This looks frickin' delicious. Ready? I'm kind of good at this. Oh! And the oven's preheated, so now I can put in the mozzarella sticks. It is a cheesy night in my house. And my parents are gonna bring me takeout, so it's all good.